Now that it is summer, our routine has changed a little bit because the days are a lot longer. But a lot of the things that I do every day are still the same, and that goes for all of the seasons. So I always like to start my day by washing the dishes. I don't always get them done the night before, usually because we're out together as a family, cleaning up outside or working in the garden. But I like to get started on the dishes first thing in the morning. That way, if I need to bake something later in the day or anything like that, then my counter is cleared and I don't have to worry about cleaning up before I can get started. After breakfast, I like to get the kids ready to start the day because they spend a lot of their time outside ever since we got our porch fixed up. So then they can go out and play while I get started with the rest of my daily chores. Today I wanted to make some fresh milled flour bread, but I wanted to try to make it without using my mixer. So because we live off grid, whenever I want to use my mixer, I have to go start my generator first, and then I have to get my mixer out. But sometimes I would like to just make bread the way we used to when I was growing up, and that is to just knead it by hand. But with fresh milled flour, you have to add a lot more water than you would if you were making, say, bread with white flour. And that makes it a lot more difficult to knead by hand because it's really sticky. I've tried using more flour as needed whenever I'm kneading by hand, but in the end the dough just turns out to be way too dry because you have to add too much flour. So today I am going to leave the oil out of the dough, and then when I was ready to knead the dough, I just oiled my hands in the countertop while I was kneading, and that actually helped a lot to make the dough not as sticky. And I was able to get two beautiful fluffy loaves of bread without even having to get my mixer out. I've been going back and forth between yeast bread and sourdough. Sometimes when I want to make bread and I realize that I forgot to get my starter out and feed it the night before, I just mix up some yeast bread. And I love the convenience of this because I can make an extra loaf or two and put it in my freezer, and then when I need bread, I can just pull a loaf out of the freezer and it comes out nice and fluffy just like it went in. But with sourdough, we usually just make one loaf at a time to enjoy right away because it doesn't really freeze as well and it also dries out a lot quicker. But if I asked my family what kind of bread they wanted me to make, I'm pretty sure the answer would be sourdough. The other day when I went to buy groceries, I got a block of cheese sliced up at the deli, and then I like to just take this home and separate it into smaller packs and freeze it. Then I don't have to worry about buying cheese for lunches. I can just go into the freezer and get out a bag. Usually I would just buy the block whole and bring it home and slice it myself. That way I can also shred some and have shredded cheese too, but for the sake of time, I just had them slice it at the deli. That way I can just bring it home and put it directly into my freezer.